Oh my goodness. Hey, it's Steve with Solutions for Power. I'm here with Jeremy Wright, the master of the universe of B5, or as known as the CEO. Hey, Jeremy.
How's it going, Steve?
South by Southwest, kind of a lot of fun so far, and a lot of things happening in your world the last few days. You kind of been doing some consolidation and changes, and
Yeah. I mean, most people know B5, for those who do, as kind of a very wide blog network. So we had 300 blogs, 200 writers, lots and lots of readers. And 4 weeks ago, we started consolidating it. So instead of 300 blogs, when this is done, we'll have 5 or 6.
wow.
Which is a fairly significant change.
Will that consolidate the traffic as well?
Yeah, and so all the traffic will stay, all the posts will stay, all the stuff our great writers have done will still live on. It'll just live on in a more branded destination kind of world, which is still very bloggy, so all the comments and search and feeds and stuff you're used to is all still there. It just looks a bit prettier.
Prettier. So what are the blogs that are left? What's the 5 or 6?
So for entertainment, it's Start. For business, it's Bizia. For lifestyles and health, it's Blistery. For men and tech and sports, it's Every Joe. And Splendicity's Beauty. So.
Okay, excellent. So you guys have gone through a lot of changes and a lot of growth and consolidation through the last 4 years. So for the entrepreneurs, what would you kind of recommend to people as they kind of look at kind of the going wide, going deep, and kind of lessons learned?
Yeah, I think you can go wide, you can go deep. But I think everyone picks one direction. You don't really do both, right?
Yeah.
And so companies like Gawker in our space went deep. Companies like us and Weblogs Inc. went wide. Weblogs Inc. went kind of consolidated and refocused before they got bought by AOL. That's kind of what we're doing. So we went wide to get scale and figure out what worked and be able to make mistakes without spending hundreds of thousands of dollars doing it. So it allowed us to be very iterative and creative. But at some point we needed to go deep and have brands and have a more unified experience. And so for us it was knowing when to do that.
Okay. So if I'm sorry, so if I could kind of hear, if I'm hearing what you're saying right, is that you should, if you have some funding, if you have a little bit of time to really more of the experiment, finding out what works and what touch points, and then once you do, taking that focus and then going deeper to really then scale up. So as you scale up, are there any lessons learned so that you don't trip up that could actually cost you the problems?
Yeah, I mean, I think you do. If you're going to go after funding, you need to be able to experiment quickly and find out what works and not be locked into a vision. But once you've found that, you get to scale, then yeah, I mean, the biggest thing is timing and communication. And so knowing when to do it. If you do it too early, then you won't have the scale necessary to keep growing that smaller number of sites or products or features.
Yeah.
But if you do it too late, then you've lost all that momentum and you're kind of resetting your entire company, which isn't good either. So I think we've come to a fairly happy medium. Communication-wise, whether it's your staff or your customers or people who get the new experience for the first time or whatever, that's probably an even bigger challenge. Because if you alienate them, then they're gone forever. All that work you've actually put in over the last 2, 3, 4, 5 years is kind of for nothing. So.
Well, that's great advice, so I appreciate the time. And for those of you who don't know, where should they go and check out the blogs and find all the head of everything?
Yeah, b5media.com is where you can find everything.
Great. Well, thanks a lot. Appreciate the time.